Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has been the leader in waterfowl conservation, with over 15 million acres of habitat conserved. DU's supporters and volunteers have led the charge to fill the skies with waterfowl, today, tomorrow, and forever. You too can play a role in leaving a legacy for the future of waterfowl hunting. To find an event near you or to join our volunteer team, go to www.ducks.org. Ducks Unlimited, the world leader in wetlands and waterfowl conservation.
Bottomland is Mossy Oak's original camo pattern created by Toxie Hayes over 3 decades ago. This pattern preserves the original design while applying advanced technology for increased effectiveness. The same field-proven components and colors, the same dirt and bark elements, the same ability to blend into dark environments and obscure a hunter's outline from every angle. Mossy Oak Bottomland.
Get 'em.
Welcome, folks. Y'all come on in and make yourself at home. This here, well, this is the Rolling Thunder Podcast, your home for all things Rolling Thunder. This episode is brought to you by Mossy Oak, because everything is better in Bottomland. Kent Cartridge, quality matters, performance counts. Shen Gear, waterfowl gear that is built better. And Benelli USA, dominate the skies.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Rolling Thunder Podcast.
Hey, buddy.
Did you have a good Memorial Day weekend?
Well, yeah.
Good.
Always.
What'd you get into?
Sleep. A lot of sleep. Catching up from life on the road and just grinding. And yesterday morning, spent a couple hours up here. It was quiet. Nobody was around. And, it was great. Drank a whole pot of coffee by myself. And
look at you.
I needed a little bit of time to rebound. So, yeah. How about you? Good Memorial Day weekend?
Oh, yeah. I was a lake bum all weekend.
I saw that.
It was nice.
I saw that. I was a little jealous of that.
A little sunshine, a little fishing, a little drinking.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, man, on today's podcast, we've got a great guest, one that I'm really excited about, and one that has been a great friend of the brand for a long time. We are joined by Hunter Colbert. Is that how you say it, Hunter?
Colbert. I used to tell everybody it was Colbert.
Well, Colbert sounds so fancy.
It sounds elegant.
Yeah,
Colbert. Like you have your own talk show.
Little mark Steven. On the end of the name. That's right.
I might start stealing that.
I love it. Hunter's the marketing director at Kent Cartridge, and he and Jeff Berry have been good friends of our brand for, man, I don't know, going on 5 years now, I guess, or more. And we really appreciate them. Jeff's been a guest on the podcast a couple times. This is our first time to have you on the podcast, Hunter. Thanks for
get
joining
out of the
us.
dungeon a little bit more and more. Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having me on.
How was your turkey season?
Oh, dude, I didn't get to travel as much as I would have liked to, but got a couple first turkeys and then I tagged out. I actually killed one of my biggest turkeys to date in a Benelli hoodie and basketball shorts. So,
oh wow,
it
very
was
nice.
pretty unique thing. He got stuck in a bad spot and called him in. I think he got shot probably about 15 yards out, roundabout.
Nice.
Could have been a lot worse. I could put it that way.
Wait, was he in a bad spot or were you in a bad spot because you were wearing gym shorts?
No, so I actually I had a wedding the day before and I was taking my fiance back to pick her car up.
Okay.
And when she closed my truck door, she had parked at a farm that I had permission to hunt. And when she closed my truck door, he shot gobbled to it. And I stood up on the top of the running boards and looked down in the bottom, and he was down in this cornfield. So I just circled him, got on top of him, started calling, and he came right in. Stood behind an autumn olive bush and a hoodie and basketball shorts and toasted it.
That was his day.
You don't need camo when they come around a corner and get shot.
That's right.
Oh no, dude! He was in the middle of a freaking 100-acre cornfield. He was
awesome.
looking for love.
That's awesome.
In all the wrong places.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Man, we're a little bitter to see it go, but we burned the candle pretty hard on both ends. So there's also some sweet to that bittersweet because it's time for wife season and rest season and golf season and catch up season for us. Well, tell us, I guess the main reason that you're joining us today is because y'all have a pretty awesome product announcement coming out, day after tomorrow?
Is it Monday or Tuesday?
What day?
Or Tuesday. Okay. Well, I guess we're time traveling, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, what is that? June 1st, we'll be launching the newest iteration of Kent Cartridge products called Fast Steel Plus.
Awesome.
It is a layered steel shot shell that I know that you like the little box of bismuth we sent up to you last year. But to be 110% honest with you, I've shot this stuff the last 2 years, and I shoot it more than I shoot bismuth now.
Yeah, it shoots great.
To say, and I know I work for the company, and it is what it is, but that stuff is a barn burner. It top to bottom. I'm taking shots for the sake of R&D that I'm stretching it out a little bit and just folding birds with it. It's been cool. It's my first time launching a product, so taking it from its baby steps and walking to 3 days away from a product launch is nuts. Can't really wrap my head around that yet.
Explain to everybody what a layered shot shell is.
Yeah. So, for example, our most popular load is going to be is a 2 and 4. So we'll lay the 2s in, and then we have 4s underneath of them. And so what you're going to get with this is incredible patterns. Like, you should be sitting well above what you're used to seeing with normal steel loads. But what we found is the smaller pellets will draft off the larger pellets. And so if you put it on a pattern board, you can see little keyholes almost where it's pellets going in right behind each other. And it's super unique to see. Hopefully we'll have some more, have some literature on that, maybe like a pop-up at some of these shows to kind of show people. But it's a very unique thing to see, like a big, like 2s and 4s, for example. You'll see a big 2-hole and then a little 4-hole right underneath of it, or right beside it, where it sucks your pattern in.
I guess the 2s fly at a different speed than the 4s do. I mean, is that the way that works?
They're just coming out the shell first.
Okay.
Is what it is. Okay. So they're just, instead of like blowing the pattern, you can see it, or we have a video coming out, should be like Thursday of the first week of June with Roger Sporting Goods. And we did pattern testing at 40 yard with Fast Steel 2.0, 2s, 3s, and 4s, and then compared it to the 2s and 4s. And I was starting to get nervous with how well the 2s, 3s, and 4s were shooting. And then when I shot the 2s and 4s, everybody's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, it's just that much better. And it's a very, very cool little product.
And that's in a 12 gauge load, or is that also in a 20?
12 and 20.
Great.
Okay.
It'll be in both of them.
Yeah.
Is there any method to putting the 2s on top of the 4s as opposed to the other way around?
So just extensive testing on it. When we were in the baby stages of this, we tested everything imaginable. Like, the biggest thing that we did was we got as close as we can to a 50-50 split in the weight of the shells, or in the weight of the different shot sizes, so it keeps it as close as you can to being identical. But this is just what we found works the best. We tried 2s upside down, 2s on the bottom, 4s up top, and anything you could think of. It's been, it's 2 years of product testing on it. Yeah. So it's been. Yeah,
I shot it. You sent me some unmarked ones season before last, so I shot it season of 21.
Oh, so you had the original. Yeah. Those were
that had there were 20 gauge layered loads like that, and they I knew because they had a different color brass. And they were They were
Oh
legit.
man, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I think you sent me about 4 or 5 boxes. You might have sent a whole case. I can't remember, but it was at the end of that season, and we took them to Pound Town in the White River Bottoms. So, yeah, they're great loads for sure. So you'll have that in a 12 gauge and in a 20 gauge. What's the payload on the 12 gauge?
12 gauge is 1.25 ounces. 20 gauge is 1 ounce.
Okay.
That's a pretty stiff load for steel. Is it straight steel or is it a mix?
Straight steel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight steel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it going as fast as the regular fast steel?
No, it's geared down a little bit. It's still fast, but I mean, once again, we found that perfect number to get it to where it's keeping your patterns whole. You're staying consistent. I mean, all the ballistic tests that we do on this. So we do stress tests we put the shells in a freezer, get them down to 0 degrees. We have shells that we shoot at 70 degrees, and then we cook them to 125. And the stress test that we run off those, we shoot 20 shells at each temperature, run it through, and it is, I mean, we aren't failing a single, SAMI stress test. I mean, it is shooting as flat as it can shoot.
I'd like to meet the guy that has to put shotgun shells in an oven for a living. That just seems like...
Oh, Mr. Jimmy's awesome.
Hurt Locker 2 is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. It
sounds like an OSHA's worst nightmare.
Yeah. That's pretty ingenious testing because, I mean, you're not, most of the time when you're shooting these still loads, you're not, you hope you're in 0 degrees. You hope you're in cold.
Yeah.
You're not going to be at 70 degrees in sunshine unless you're, first week of Arkansas season is usually 70 degrees and something, rain.
Yep. Shooting mosquitoes.
Anything different with the packaging? Like how people look for it, notice it, and where should they get it?
So it's going to be essentially everywhere that you buy your shells. I think Rogers will have it this upcoming week, and then it's going to start filtering, and you'll see it start popping up everywhere. Cabela's, Bass Pro, I think got some of it. It's going to be. I've never experienced this before because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous for Thursday.
Yeah,
I mean it's going to be an absolute chicken shoot, or at least I think it is. More than likely, I'm gonna wake up and it's not gonna be any different. But
no, it'll be a big deal. I'm sure
sounds
that
like
Rogers
it's gonna be different. Yeah,
I'm sure Rogers will have a big email campaign for it, and I mean they're a monstrous outfit, anyways.
Yeah,
we got packaging wise, cupped up mallard. It'll be a darker box than the Fast Steel 2.0, and it'll have a silver Fast Steel, and then the plus is in lime green.
I got you. Okay,
there you go.
Very cool.
Very good product placement. That's good.
It is. The 2.0 has that lime green text, so I guess it'll be that lime green will carry over into the plus sign, and the rest of it will be silver. I like it.
It's gonna be cool. It definitely pops.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, if you put it in the light, there's timber behind the mallard, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
So it looks a little spicy.
Very cool. What are you seeing from a demand standpoint? Are you seeing a shift towards anything, terms of like, are you seeing the sub gauge guns, the demand for that ammo wise in the waterfowl space increase, or you seeing 12 gauge hold steady, or what are you seeing?
I mean, 12 gauge is always going to be king. I think the 20 gauge, the most that I've noticed is 20 gauge has a pretty significant uptick, and then everybody wants sub gauges more. I've gotten more. When are you going to pump out 410 steel loads than I can ever remember? But it's definitely there. I feel like it's a more vocal group.
Sure.
But there's an uptick to it, and we're working on coming out with new lines, new products to help support some of that demand.
Yeah.
But 12 gauge is still,
looking
into the numbers, 12 gauge is still far and above king.
Yeah. One of the things I appreciate about you guys is that over the last couple of years through COVID and everything, I mean, ammo's been hard to get, but y'all have kept making 20 gauge rounds. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the big manufacturers said, halt to the yellow shell and started, pushing out as many of the 12 gauges as they could just because they had so much demand. They picked their leading product and put all their horses behind that. And y'all have done a really, really good job of kind of keeping production steady between the different gauges.
Yeah, it's really our factory guys really deserve a pat on the back. I mean, they fought through. I mean, COVID as a whole was just most cases COVID whipped everybody's ass. Yeah. Our factory guys kicked COVID's ass. It was something. I mean, they did the absolute best that they could every day in, day out, trying to get as much out the door as humanly possible. But in today's world, I mean, we could run 24/7, 365, and we still wouldn't have enough shells going out the door.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I mean, we went from like 2018, 2019, it was a race to the bottom, cheapest ammo possible. Everybody just, and then it got scarce, and now it's like premium and availability are the two things I hear everybody, asking about. Like cheap ammo, you don't hear anybody talking about $9.99 a box ammo anymore. I mean, you just hear about, I want good ammo and I want it now.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of one of those things that you didn't know what you had till it was gone kind of deal. We'll save a little money, but then you're like, wait a minute, now there's nothing. Okay, well, now I want the best thing I can get.
Yeah. That's been another thing that we've kept up with the entire time, and we're going to continue to keep up with is our QC on stuff that we go out the door. We run stress tests. We do one every couple hours on all of our lines. So as soon as we'll go pull a couple boxes off a loader, run test on it, make sure the powder weight's right, shot weight's right, pressures look good. Yeah. I mean, top to bottom. We do not cut corners, and really bang for your buck with the quality of stuff that we put in it is second to none. I mean, it's for the money, it's the best, in my opinion, the best product on the market. But
no doubt,
I work for it. So who really is going to take my weight in that?
Well, I've shot it all over the place, and I can also attest to the consistency. I know exactly what I'm going to get when I get it. It doesn't really matter whether it comes directly from you or whether it comes from Rogers or whether it comes from Bass Pro or Cabela's or wherever, because I've bought it from all those different places, and that's definitely been my favorite thing. Is like you just don't get a box of duds. It's consistent. It shoots well. Honestly, in a lot of cases, it shoots better. I'm not going to just say it shoots well. It definitely shoots well, but you can compare it to a lot of the other premium loads. Everything in its class, to me, Kent outperforms it. And I'm biased too, but I mean, I was a Kent fan before I started working with you guys. With this brand partnership. So that's why things like this work, is because it's organic and it's something that we're already doing. And I mean, it's also backed up by think about our friends that shoot the same stuff. I mean, the guys at Daybreak, I mean, they literally make a living, shooting Kent Cartridge and their customers too. And you got guys like that, 6 groups wide every day, hunting, 60 plus days a year. There's a reason they're shooting what they're shooting. So yeah, there's no doubt the evidence supports the consistency and the performance for sure.
And I mean, that's a big hats off to y'all for producing the quantity of shells that you do, but still maintaining that high level of quality is unheard of anywhere else. I mean, think of any other brand, maybe not any other brand, but most other brands that mass produce shells, you're going to get a decent number of clicks or blown out patterns or whatever, but it's not the case here at all.
Yeah. What's on tap for you this summer?
Oh, dude, my summer's relatively easy. I think the next one I got is Delta.
Yeah.
And that's 2 months away somehow still.
It'll be here tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm kind of hoping for it. I don't like sitting in the office this long. It freaks me out.
So
we got
Delta's going to be fun. You were telling us before this call that y'all got a new booth that you're going to be showing off.
Yep.
And
somebody made the dumb decision to put RT's big old beautiful face up on it. So we'll see how that goes.
Did you talk to his agent?
Yeah.
I feel like RT's probably got an agent.
Yeah. His agent, requested a case of bismuth. So I'll have to get back to him on that.
Speaking of Delta, little Birdie told me that in the Rolling Thunder booth, we were going to have a whole pallet of these new loads, yellow ones and red ones, or black ones.
Black
Fast
ones.
Steel's black, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Do with that information what you want.
So,
but should have a couple candlesticks there to play with.
So bring a dolly.
Yeah. Bring a dolly and some muscles with you.
I'll put my back seat down.
Yeah, but you got to carry it all the way out to your truck. That's the kicker. 26 pounds for however long is
we're gonna offer storage at the Rolling Thunder booth, so you can pay for your shells and then you can store it underneath the table. But storage is going to be cheaper than the shells, but it's not going to be free. So
and for an additional fee, you can pick who you want to supervise the shells. There's obviously going to be tiered prices as to who will be the one supervising, but we'll let you pick that. If you're trying to pinch a penny, Triple watch it for you. If you want to be taken care of.
We've always at trade shows kind of done that. If you buy acrylic call, if you're of age, you end up with an aluminum can of beer, and we may have to extend that same deal over into the Kent Cartridge. Buy a case of shells. You can, drink a beer on your way to the truck to put them in the truck.
Mm-hmm. Might have to do that one.
So that was a great show last year, and I would be lying if I said I didn't have huge expectations for what they do with it this year.
No, I am a huge fan of that show. Brad, do you guys work with Brad Heidel?
Yep.
He is one of my favorite people in the outdoor space.
Yeah, they did a good job. They did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Any other big plans for y'all? I know y'all were just at Ducks Unlimited, right, with us?
No, I had a wedding that weekend, and Mr. Barry just had baby Barry number 2, like the week before that.
Gotcha.
So we did not make it down to Ducks.
Well, that shows you whether or not I was there, or whether he was there, because we didn't know whether you were there.
Yep, it was. That shows a good one. I think maybe depending on who you talk to. But we got the next weekend. Do you guys go up to Rogers that following weekend?
Yes, I will be at Rogers. Somebody will be.
Yeah. We got Rogers, and then I just bang. After that, I bang the East Coast drum till NWTF.
Yeah, we actually did pretty good at Ducks. I think the issue at Ducks was just the getting the people around. You know what I mean? Like there were people there, but it's so big and so spread out, and there's so much to see. It's kind of like a combination of sensory overload and just the sheer size and
the mass of it. Yeah. They said that they had everybody that I talked to this year said it was probably about a 20% increase on foot traffic.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, our sales numbers would probably indicate that. I haven't compared it to last year, but we definitely did more than last year in terms of sales. So it's also just kind of a tough time. I feel like that's right there at the end of everybody's school, and so kids are. I know it's tough for my kids. They're taking finals and stuff, but
baseball,
Yeah. Well, they might have found that sweet spot though, because they had it. I want to say the first year was in June.
Yep.
And then last year was in March, early April.
It was last year. It was the second weekend of April.
Yep.
Because didn't y'all send guys down and they went and tried to shoot some turkeys?
They hunted one morning, but they didn't.
Oh, so
they didn't have. Let's just say they didn't have the A team with them,
And Texas, believe it or not, Texas is extremely limited on public land.
Oh yeah,
which is that area, Texas.
Yeah.
But back to the Ducks Unlimited thing and the Delta thing. I think the take home for for me is I'm really proud of both organizations for creating events that get people there. Mm-hmm. It connects the individuals with an experience, and the manufacturers. And I think that's so cool because that's how there's multiple ways to do conservation, right? I mean, we can raise money, we can set aside ground, but I mean, one of the ways that we do conservation is we create experiences for little kids to walk around and see stuff and touch stuff. Just like when you go to the Kent booth, a kid can sit there and load a shotgun shell, and see how it works. And, that's how the next generation gets involved in conservation is they see that stuff, they meet their heroes, they see the YouTube stars, they get to see what's coming out and they feel like they're a part of it. And I'm 41. I know shows kind of went away there for a while, but I mean, when I was a kid, that was how you found out. That was where you bought the VHS tape of somebody hunting. Mm-hmm. And that's how you found out what the pros did. And you went to seminars and stuff. And so I think it's great that these conservation organizations are coming back around and both DU and Delta pumping, significant resources into connecting end users, the average Joes with the industry. And of course, NWTF has done that for a long time, but I mean, 5 years ago, we would never have had this conversation where the three pillars in waterfowl and turkey conservation were putting on a premier event that connected local community, local folks with industry manufacturers. And so
yeah.
I didn't mean to derail us there, but,
I
want to brag on them.
Not even, in addition to that, from an experience standpoint, both DUX and the Delta event have sanctioned calling contests too.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yep.
Meat calling,
bunches
the
of them
qualifier for Worlds, the cut down. It's not just, they're not just trying to get you there to spend money. You have the opportunity to go and watch the pros do what they do best.
Yep, no doubt.
That's always cool to me, is going and listening to the duck call contest.
For sure. So
now, the conservation side of that, those shows are arguably my favorite part of the job. Just being able to go, it's the best way to communicate with end users. I mean, we have hundreds upon hundreds of kids come up. I mean, we probably loaded 3 cases of shells with that freaking mech reloader last year. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculous. Now, I will say, as a disclaimer, because some people don't get it, they are souvenir shells. They do not go bang.
Yep.
I got more phone calls last year from those shells of the Delta thing, cussing and yelling at me about having a dud for their kid's first duck or this, that, and the other. I mean, it was like once a week. It was brutal.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was like, and it says souvenir on the side of it. It's it's loaded with sand. I don't know what else I could tell you right now. But
yeah, well, if you're not paying attention enough to your kid to know whether they're putting real gunpowder into a shotgun shell, the
primers
bigger issue is you probably need to do a little better job of parenting. Your kid's making an explosive device, and then you're mad because it doesn't work.
Making an explosive device at a public event.
Yeah,
That's a great way to get on the FBI's watch list.
Oh, so East Coast, where are you hitting some dealers on the East Coast, Molly's and all that kind of stuff? Or
yeah, we got Molly's on the East Coast. We go hit their show, and then Green Top down in Richmond. Mm-hmm. Both of those are awesome little stores if you ever end up out in this neck of the woods. Yep. And then we hit the Easton Waterfowl Festival.
Okay.
Which is apparently the mecca of goose hunting or something. Yeah. I mean, it's
the one in Maryland, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, down in Easton. It's a super cool one. I honestly wish that one was longer.
Yep.
And in a different time frame, because it's the first week of what is that? November.
It's generally the weekend before our waterfowl season opens in Arkansas.
Yeah. I mean, my trail cameras are blowing up with huge bucks chasing does around, and I'm sitting there and can't do anything about it.
No doubt.
No game fair for you this year?
Nope. That's one. Where's game fair at?
It's in Minnesota.
Yeah. Anything in the Midwest, we don't typically do. I mean, the biggest ones we're still trying to get into the game of it, but it's like NWTF, Delta, Pheasant Fests, and Ducks are big ones for the year.
Yeah. We should talk offline. We might can do some collaborative stuff there at Game Fair. That would be a good audience for y'all, and we've got a big booth. So
what are the dates for it?
Man, it's weird. It's 2 weekends in a row in August.
It's that one.
Yeah. And it's like the middle 2 weekends of August kind of thing. It's like 12th and 13th, and then the following week is like the 19th and 20th.
11th through the 13th and the 18th through the 20th. Yeah.
Can you do one weekend or the other, or do you have to do both weekends?
That's a good question. I have never personally done it. Girk has done it, and a couple of others of our guys. So, but I think you need to be at both. I'm pretty sure that's a condition for them. But anyways, that was neither here nor there. That's just a good one. That
I see a lot of traffic at that show. A lot of traffic. So,
so June 1st launch of the Fast Steel Plus. What's Jeff thinking? Is he in baby mode or is he in plus launch mode?
Oh, he's in plus launch mode. that baby is going to be able to walk and talk within the next 4 weeks. So it's, I mean, his firstborn is arguably smarter than I am now. It's ridiculous. He is the smartest little human I've ever met in my life. It's nuts.
That's good. Is Jeff going to get to travel any with you, or is he going to hit the buy group shows? And
so he's not going to be at Delta. He'll be at Rogers the following weekend.
Yep.
I want to say he's got Academy the weekend before. And then it would have been 3 weeks in a row that he would have been gone. So he just said Delta's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be in the cards for him, but he's out and about.
Good. Well, we'll grab Jeff's credit card and we'll make sure that we entertain all the Kent Cartridge customers at Delta together.
Yeah. Uncle Kent's going to take care of everybody. It'll be good.
Oh, that's good. Well,
you got any hunting trips planned for this fall?
As of right now, I want to stop in. I talked to Spence about jumping in and doing a combo hunt with Delta.
Yep.
Okay.
Or not Delta.
North Delta.
North Delta with Daybreak.
I've got 2 blocks of dates there, and hoping that Hunter will join us for at least one of those. Good. Yep. We've got some combined dealers that we can hit that'll be there for both of those. So we need to put our heads together on that and see if we can't, that'd be a cool.
Yeah. Cool, and then we need to get y'all on the books for a turkey hunt plant tour next spring. Would be a good one to get into.
Okay.
By y'all, do you mean me and Frawley, or are you talking about me? And
that's a big dog decision. Y'all can figure that one out.
You're gonna have to put in a time off request form. Okay. I mean, you've already got a wedding planned and a bachelor party planned and all these things. I mean,
I'm not taking time off for the bachelor party though.
Okay.
I am for the wedding, but
no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do that. I've never hunted in West Virginia, and I've got some good friends in Virginia, so that would be a great thing to plan for next spring.
That was going to be one of my questions. What kind of duck and goose hunting is there to do in West Virginia?
Mergansers.
The poor man's black duck.
Also known as lawn darts.
Depending on how cold it gets, we do get a ton of black ducks for whatever reason.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, but no, it's pretty much, it's 99.9% me really bored shooting mergansers till I get yelled at to come home. That's about how that goes.
Well, that's not the end of the world. That just means you have to travel.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, is there anywhere within a reasonable driving distance that you could go?
I mean, I'm going to try to get down to Arkansas at some point this year, but that's still 14 hours to the border.
Wow.
So it's going to be brutal. I could go down to the Eastern Shore, but I mean, it's the same.
Yeah. rat
That's
race.
the same unless it gets crazy cold and then it picks up. But other than that, I stay pretty local.
Yeah.
The Merg, man. The Merg murderer.
One of the first ducks that was killed with this new load was a merganser.
Y'all need to get an alternate artwork for some boxes with a merganser on it.
Oh, dude, it'd be hilarious. I wanted to put for what is that? April Fool's Day this year. I wanted to do like a fake release of it and have a coot on the box.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
That's funny.
Well, I can't think of any more questions. I cannot wait to burn some powder. I'm thinking the first opportunity I'm going to have to shoot these newfangled layered loads. I've already shot the prototype layered loads. Is going to be September honker season.
Gooberries.
Yeah. And speaking of gooberries, I've heard enough of the guys here around the shop complaining about cleaning geese that I'm kind of looking forward to not having to feel obligated to take everybody that works here on the early season goose hunt.
Just for the record, I don't mind cleaning geese.
I've never heard you complain about the
I'm
old
not a big
gooberries.
complainer about anything that I get to shoot legally. So I'm not picky.
We have some mallard snobs around here.
Purists.
I want to say I saw a post about that.
Yeah, there've been a few of them. We've definitely got a few mallard snobs, you know, look down their nose.
There's one particular mustached one that will not shoot anything but a mallard and has proven that he does that.
Yeah, no doubt. He has definitely proven it. But so, yeah, we're looking forward to having them here in the shop, shoot, you know, just as we're not as big as Rogers, but we are a dealer, and we've got them on the shelf right now. We've actually got last year's loads on the shelf, more coming, and we've got the layered loads coming. So if you're listening and you're planning your fall trip to duck camp to eradicate your mice population and the brown recluse population and check on your duck boat and all the things that happen in the month of August, man, make sure you stop through and see us. We've got a new Benelli with your name on it and a case of Kent Cartridge. So we'd love to get you set up. We believe in it. We shoot it and we sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that includes you too. You need to come down and see the shop. I understand it's a little bit of a drive, but
oh no, dude, that's not bad at all. I mean, what, you guys are around the Memphis area?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 8 hours to Nashville. That is what?
Okay.
Probably 5.
10 and a half.
Oh no, we're 2.5 from Nashville. So yeah, you'd be 10.5 total.
Make that drive weekly. It's 2.5 hours from Nashville.
That's not bad. Not bad.
The nightlife in Somerville is not the greatest. The guys all seem to kind of vanish on the weekends. I can't blame them.
I couldn't do that. Week in, week out, could not do that. That place, man.
Couldn't do Nashville or couldn't do Somerville?
Nashville.
Oh. Well,
what 5 days we're there for NWTF is just, it's worse than Vegas. Vegas.
Wow, that's a hot take.
it is worse. It's
No, worse as in like you cannot find an unattractive female in Nashville.
Oh, it's
Like,
worse.
it's
It's worse from a nightlife standpoint. I mean, it's better. It's like it's more fun, but it's worse from a taxing. It just wears you out because I mean, in Vegas, everybody's in the casinos. There's not just like the bars that everybody hangs out in. But dang, in Nashville, man, everybody wants to hit Broadway, hit such and such. And it's just like, I mean, it just feels like it never ends. I mean,
the craziest thing about Broadway is it's a legit war zone. Like the cops, we were standing in line for a bar and we watched 3 different fights happen while we're waiting to get in line. The cops are like, if they're not shooting or stabbing, we don't really do anything. It's like, what in God's name?
That's my city.
It's just nuts.
Yep. Well, so June 1st, Fast Steel Plus. We're pumped about it. We're looking forward to it. Make sure that you make your summer plans now to come visit at the Delta Waterfowl Expo at the end of July. There will be lots of the new Kent Fast Steel Plus there available for sale, and lots of info that you can ask questions about and see there at the Kent booth. And Hunter will probably even sign your hat if you want him to.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, in all seriousness, you guys have a great booth, and it's definitely worth coming to see because, I mean, you anecdotally, it's one thing for somebody to explain the difference to you just, kind of in passing, or for you to shoot the shell and, I killed something. But when you start to understand the science behind it, it really helps you understand, why it is better, why it performs better, and all those things. And so it's worth making a trip to one of these locations that Hunter's talking about that they'll be at, whether it's Rogers, whether it's Molly's or Green Top, or the Easton Waterfowl Festival, or the Delta Waterfowl Expo in July. So
Yeah, and I keep that booth stocked with dudes that at least look like they know what they're doing. So it'll be a go up and talk. I mean, they bang on them 60 days a year.
that's right.
Different states, they do it all. Any questions, concerns, or just want to shoot the shit? Any of the Kent platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you can find us, shoot us a DM. I'll be the one answering it. Need anything, holler at me.
Yep, that's great. Well, man, we appreciate you guys. Y'all are a great partner of ours from a corporate standpoint, but you're also a great partner in conservation with these other agencies, and we really appreciate you guys, and we're proud to be able to fly the Kent flag here at 17605 U.S. Highway 64. So, please tell Jeff that we said hello, and man, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, not a problem. Anytime you need me.
All right. Look up Kent Fast Steel Plus. New this year. It'll be available at all the dealers that you're used to buying your waterfowl loads from. So look it up. Get you a box or 10 or 20.
For 50.
Yeah,
Why not?
order a whole truckload.
That's right. All right. Well, we will, on that note, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining us. Hey, y'all, this is Spence and Frawley, and just wanted to say thank you for listening to another episode of our podcast. We really, really enjoy producing this podcast and would be really grateful if wherever you get your podcasts, if you would subscribe to the Rolling Thunder podcast and give us a 5-star rating. Somehow, apparently, out there in internet la media land, that helps our podcast to be found by other people like you. So we just want you to know we appreciate you listening, and we'd like to ask you to subscribe and give us a 5-star review and keep on listening.
And unfortunately, recording podcasts don't pay the bills, so we just do this for fun and for y'all, and we want it to grow as bad as y'all want it to grow. So we could really use your help in doing that.
Share it with a friend.
Yes, right. We appreciate y'all stopping by again.
Thanks for listening.